this week, Matthew?
On this episode of Tales of the Table, Boone watched his dreams come true. So, Boone, it's long been known for our friendship that your one goal in life in high school was to get a kick return for a touchdown. As a lineman, that doesn't happen very often. You got one chance and it didn't happen. However, in the Dolphins-Ravens game, an offensive lineman caught a screen pass and dove into the end zone upside down and almost scored. Well, can you tell us what that was like? What went through your head as you saw that? As you saw something that you could have done, something you've dreamed of multiple times.
Okay, so we've discussed this multiple times here on the podcast. Let me go ahead and put the mic up. We've discussed this multiple times here on the podcast that I have these vivid dreams. You have these dreams like that just bother you. And so one of my dreams that bothered me, for some reason, that kickoff. So for the backstory, Matthew and Bowen are trash. That's the backstory in the story. No, anyway, for our football team, every single
because I fumbled.
Every single senior
fumbled.
night, they let the offensive linemen get a reward for their hard work and dedication by giving them a touch to the football. It can be a run, it could be a pass. Usually, it's never a pass. And then, so Matthew and Bowen got a handoff. Well, Bowen got one single handoff.
I got two.
Did you get two? Was it the first one that was good or the second one was good?
The first one was right up the middle, and it was for, like, no gain.
Okay.
The second one, I was supposed to go up the middle again, and I was like, nah, screw that. So I went to the outside.
So, yeah, Bowen gets the second run because they try to get you something to feel good. So, like, Matthew got a couple runs, too. So, like, they try – if you don't get nothing, they're going to give you another chance. So, they give and the hope for us was Bowen wasn't there, but me and Matthew's freshman year, we got to see Jeff Dunmeyer, and he got the ball and ran for, like, 44 yards. And we was like, oh, man. Wait till senior year.
I can't wait.
So then
we can do that.
Exactly. We're like
we possess the same athletic ability as him.
4 years of horrible hard work at practice, games, getting hurt, concussions, dislocated shoulder for senior night. So I could touch the football. And then
right there, you see that guy's hand? He's swiping it out of my – I mean, that's seconds before disaster for me.
Check us out on YouTube to see the peak of Bowen's
his hand
career.
is coming right here.
So anyway, Bowen cuts out. And granted, Bowen at this time – now I'm physically more athletic than him. But back at the time –
No.
back at the time, Bowen was –
Boone, raise your mic up some.
Bowen was more athletic than us. So at that time – Bowen gets it, cuts outside to the left, and he runs, and he goes a good like 25 yards, and just like it was in front of touchdown. No one's in front of him. No one's in front of him. So we're all thinking, man, he's got it. Well, then the lineman curse hits him. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know anything. If he's holding the football like a basket of flowers, I don't know. But the guy sneaks up behind him and hawks him and punches it out. Bowen fumbles. Okay. So Bowen was the first one to run it, so I was like, oh, man, they're going to stop everybody else from touching the football now because Bowen screwed the pooch here. So then, well, they didn't. Matthew gets in, like after they get the ball, the team we were playing was not good. So we get the ball back.
We were up 50 points, just FYI.
And so that's also another key mark into the linemen getting the football is we have to be up. It can't just you don't just get it in the middle of a good game. You have to be up a lot, which happened a lot for our team, luckily. But anyway, so then Matthew gets it, runs it one time for like nothing at all, like maybe 2 yards. He did get a gain, but it was not very much. I remember I was blocking on the play. And then the next play, Matthew runs. I don't even know how he fumbled because he was in the middle of a crowd, fumbled. I'm over here thinking, oh, my gosh, dude, my chances. My chances are going downhill. All these linemen are fumbling here. So then, well, it was like a God saying. It's like God said, here is your chance. Here is your opportunity. Eminem was creeping in the back at the microphone saying you're one shot. Never, ever. Because what I wanted was a kickoff return. I had dreamed about the moment of catching that kickoff return, everybody getting their blocks. I'm running, carrying 8, 9 Bracken Countyans on my back as I'm going to the end zone. And so I dreamed about it. Well, this only could happen because they're never going to score on us. So that's what requires us to get a kickoff return. So it only would happen if we got the ball first. I mean, they had the ball first and then we get it second. Perfect. That's exactly what happened. So then I come up to Coach Fuller. I was like, all I want is a kickoff return. He's like, what? He looks at me all like I'm crazy for us. I was like, that's all I want. I was like, don't give me. I was like, you don't have to hand me the ball off. I'm not going to fumble like those two. I was like, just let me get the kickoff return. I promise you, I will be in the end zone. And so then I even told him that. And so then Thompson hears that that's what I want. And he's like, Boone, you all said it. He's like, if Boone gets this touchdown, I'm going to run down the field naked. And so, here's what I wanted. I was going to see Coach Thompson naked that day. So here's how the play goes down. They get on, they kick it. I knew Bragg County was going to do it. We all knew that they were not going to kick it deep because they're losing so bad. They want a chance to get the ball back. So we knew we're all huddled up. Amen. Amen. If you catch it, look, I'm looking at Mikhail, I'm looking at Keenan, I'm looking at all of our boys. They're like, man, if we catch this, we're pitching it back, G-Boone. We're pushing it back. I'm like, yes, let's go. Because I'd always been, when we're on scout team offense, I mean, and Keenan was out at quarterback, Mikhail was wide receiver. They would always be hyped because I'm out here lead blocking for them, putting that most effort in. When Matthew, those chances he was on scout team, he didn't care. Matthew let him run by. So the young ones never got the opportunity to shine. I'm here to let them shine. And they were going to repay me my hard work in scout team for this. So anyway, Bragg County squibs it. And it was almost in slow motion for me. I relive this every day, every single day of the year. It bounces, rolls a little bit, and Brandon Simones, God love him, jumps right on it. He had a year to pass it back, and he just lays on it. That's my one shot. That was my one shot. Because then after that, they wouldn't let me run it anymore. Like, they wouldn't even let me run it because I told Foley that's all I wanted. I didn't even get a chance to run it. So, sad day. Fast forward to the Dolphins game that had happened recently. So, I didn't watch the game live. I watched a few, like the first half or whatever. But, not the first half. Yeah, the first half because it happened in the fourth quarter. Anyway, so I go to see the highlights the next day while I'm sitting on the toilet. And I'm like, okay, let's check out these highlights. And then I see it. I see the magic leave the quarterback's hands, enter into the lineman's hands. And I'm like, okay, I really know the rules, so I knew instantly, okay, this isn't going to count, but let's see what goes down. Okay, he catches it, slips through, even does a little shimmy, hop, jump, juke. I've dreamt of those moments. And then there's two people stopping him from the end zone. He jumps over, leans over, and they call it, the refs don't call it a touchdown, but then they replay it. It's a touchdown. So that right there is what I've relived in my dreams for years. Now, 6 years out of high school? 6 years I've relived that. But instead of me actually scoring, like his was actually being a touchdown, I always come up short or I always get tackled or something stupid happens. But even better than that is the play that's from the New England lineman. I'm sure you've seen it where he catches the kickoff return and then he just keeps going. They're like, look at this. I can't believe it. And that's me. That's what I wanted so bad. That's what I was like, I didn't care
about their guard. And he's just like double holding the ball the whole time.
He's stiff-arming. He's out here. I mean, it was beautiful. It was glorious. So moral of the story is that that lineman for the Dolphins got to live my dream out, and it's a shame that it didn't count as a touchdown.
And he's also an NFL player. There's multiple dreams he's living out that.
That guy's Boone's peak, and he's just watching it happen in front of him. Can't do nothing about it. But Boone, it will be fair to say there's a picture of the lineman like when he's diving upside down with his head back to the ground and the ball stretched out. If that would have been you, like R.I.P., you wouldn't have survived. You would have.
I think they would have.
You would have like split into like your arms and legs.
They would have had to have moved the Miami Dolphins stadium away so they can put a gravestone right in the middle of the field where I died, where my body rests at peace. My soul left my body. You are accurate on that, but I will say to leave me on a good note in the audience eyes. My highlight was for my chance to touch the football comes from scout team when they lined me up at wide receiver. I don't know why. We have nobody. They lined me up at wide receiver going against our defense. You already know our defense was good. And so no one expected me to catch the pass. And so they was like, Boone, run a wheel route. So I had to go around, turn, like it was a real route for a wide receiver. So I had to back up a little bit and then go a streak. So I'm over here putting in 100% effort for all 260 pounds that I was back then. So I'm over here running up the seam, and I know I was slow as dirt. So I know Isaiah, because Isaiah was supposed to guard me. He didn't even care. Like he was just like, he just let me run by, and I ran by. And then Keenan, I saw it. I looked back. I know I might have looked ugly, but I had everything ready. I was looking back, shoulder, looking everything, and Keenan looks me in the eyes, throws this beautiful bird into the sky, and it lands right in my hands. And I remember catching it, and I was like almost like a little pillow. You're coming home with me. You're coming home with me. And then I catch it, and I was like, I thought I was going to be able to run because, I mean, it's a scout team. There's no hype about it. But I catch it, and then I remember Isaiah hit me so hard. I was like, this is beautiful. And I remember just resting. I didn't even try to break his tackle. I was just like, you come with me. You come with me. This is my chance to shine. And then everyone got hyped for like 3 seconds, and then we're back to getting yelled at by like coaches or something. I don't know. But it was a highlight. I still live that moment over.
That's a good moment.
All right, Bowen, did you want to do your psychopathic traits first, or do we want to do the Boone versus?
We can do a little psychopathic. Well, no, do the Boone versus.
Okay. It's Boone versus the 7 basic plots. So, Boone, I read this theory a while ago, but then I remembered it when we watched the Steelers game without you because you didn't show up. And it's like, it's a book about how every single story, which to you I'm going to pose it as movies because you're a movie guy. Every single movie or story in general will fit into these 7 basic plots. So I'm going to read you the theory and the plots, and then you're going to have to versus it. And I have an opinion about it too. So, but I'll start it off. So the 7 plots are overcoming the monster. The protagonist sets out to defeat an antagonistic force, often evil, which threatens the protagonist and or the protagonist's homeland. Examples are Star Wars, Naruto, this is from Wikipedia, James Bond, War of the Worlds, etc. The second plot, rags to riches. The poor protagonist acquires wealth, power, and or a mate, loses it all, and gains it back, growing as a person as a result.
What was the first one again?
Overcoming the monster.
Is this the official names for them, or is this just the web? Okay, all right.
Yes. This is Wikipedia. This is a book, but this is the Wikipedia of the book. Rags to riches. Yeah. I just read that. So examples are Cinderella, Great Expectations, The Jerk. Then the third one, The Quest. The protagonist and companions set out to acquire an important object or get to a location. They face temptations and other obstacles along the way, like the Iliad, Lord of the Rings, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. The fourth plot, Voyage and Return. The protagonist goes to a strange land after overcoming the threat it poses and learning important lessons unique to that location. They return with experience, like Alice's Adventure in the Wonderland, The Odyssey.
That can't be what that movie is.
The Hobbit.
It's just Alice in Wonderland.
Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is what that's the book. This is a book. Okay. 3. This is where it gets dumb. Comedy. That's just one whole thing. Light and humorous character with a happy and cheerful ending. Dramatic work, and the central motive is to triumph over adverse circumstances, resulting in a successful or happy conclusion. The book Booker, the author, stresses that comedy is more than humor. It refers to a pattern where the conflict becomes more and more confusing, but in the last made plain in a single clarifying event. The majority of romance films fall into this category. 6th, we have tragedy, which is the protagonist is a hero with a major character flaw and a great mistake, which is ultimately their undoing. And then 7, rebirth. The event forces the main character to change their ways and often become a better individual. So, Boone, fight that theory.
I'm supposed to fight that is an accurate theory. So is it saying?
Whatever you want to say. Whatever you want to say.
You might not know. You might not have enough research on it. Is it saying that every single movie or most movies fit into this category?
Every story that's ever been
told. Okay, I would go and agree that because it's not saying that, but I'm saying that most movies do fit into those. I mean, most movies do, but are there movies? Is it saying that it's okay for movies to have multiple of those 7? Okay, because I already was getting some images in my mind of movies that had multiple of those 7. Fight that plot point. I mean, I'm going to fight it from probably not a funny way, but I'm just going to say an artist creates something, the filmmaker makes a movie. So when they make a movie, they're going to have the option to there's no pre-programmed thing in their head. Some people just go out and make a creative, weird movie, and it's just fitting into its own little category.
Well, this guy's saying the theory is that only 7 stories have ever been told. 7
So
types
he's
of
saying
stories.
only 7 stories have ever been told.
Yeah, you think of another movie or anything else like that. He's saying these are the only kind of stories that have ever been told. You can even tell.
They're just being retold with different people.
How
in
much
it, or
can you
different,
very
locations?
How much can you leave the source until you're not that anymore? So like, how much could I edit the versus monster until it's not actually versus monster anymore? You see what I'm saying? Because there's movies that take that and take it into a strange direction, but it's still essentially that plot point. But how far do they have to turn it until it's not that plot point anymore?
I'm trying to think of a movie.
I'm trying to think of one too,
something outside of it.
I'm trying to think of movies that are weird to me. Okay, for instance, here's one. I would say that most of let me make sure I'm saying his name right. No, Ad Astra, but that's not who it is. But the guy who makes the Hereditary or Midsommar, those movies don't really fit any because they definitely don't fit the versus monster because they lose. There's no monster really. You don't even find out about the monster till the end, and so. I can't remember them all, but I can tell you that most of them, like especially Midsommar, because to me it felt like it didn't even have a plot. So I mean, I guess most bad movies
It'd be a tragedy.
don't even. Yeah, but it's not even a tragedy because it doesn't build up to the tragedy. You know what I mean? It's no build up. There's literally no build up to that You never expect, oh snap, this person's gonna die. I'm gonna be sad. Like at the end when that person, that family's like dead, you're not even like sad about it. You're like this is nasty. Nasty a little bit.
Here's my take on it. I'm gonna go with it. It's true, but it's like your horoscope's always true because it's so vague and you could interpret it any way you want because it's so vague. So that was my take on it. I think it's a dumb idea. I mean, it's like saying everything in the universe is made out of the same molecules. It's true, but it doesn't really mean
I
anything.
get that. Actually, I think you might as well should have versed it because that's so much smarter than what I just said. You let me just ramble for 10 minutes about something I didn't even know. No, I agree. It probably is all true. I mean, this guy's probably way smarter than me, but I agree with Matthew. It's just like horoscopes. Like my dad will tell me a horoscope here, or someone will tell me a horoscope about. Like they'll tell me which one of them's real accurate. It says that they get injured a lot. My horoscope. So I was like, okay, that makes me believe it. But then it also says that they usually have blonde hair, and I'm like, what in the heck? Okay, so
wait, is horoscope like the stars?
I thought it had to do with like your sign or what all that.
Zodiac sign, something like that.
Zodiac
Big question is, why do they call it
fortune-telling.
Zodiac? That's what I need to know.
After the
Why?
killing.
That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, so versus it, I'm sure that there are movies. I'm going to go ahead and go against yours a little bit. I'm sure there are movies that are created or thoughts or stories that can be told that are not in the 7. But they're probably, if they're not in, I'm going to argue that if they're not in the 7, then people don't like it. That's what I'm going to say. So people won't even watch it. You won't even hear about it. Like if a movie doesn't fit those 7, then people aren't getting attached because those 7 plot points get the audience in. They're like the perfect story. So if you don't fit into those categories, then it's going to be a movie that they're going to be like, oh, this movie sucked or this movie wasn't good. Who knows? Like a movie that we all thought maybe was supposed to be good and then it's not.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the only good stories that
The Zodiac
is in those 7.
The Zodiac is a belt-shaped region of the sky that extends approximately 8 degrees north or south of the ecliptic, the apparent path of the sun across the celestial sphere.
Maybe
over
that
the
should be an
course of the
episode. We
year.
just research zodiac signs and find out how dumb they are, or how right they are.
In Western astrology, astrological signs are 12 30-degree sectors that make up Earth's 360-degree.
I don't want to say too much bad about it because I know there's people that like live by that. Like they get like tattoos about it. Like this is like their lifeline. They believe
I'll say something bad about it. It's dumb. I don't care.
We were driving. This will be funny to you, Ben. I was driving. Amber and I were driving home the other day, and the car in front of us had this big. We thought it was a Zodiac sign on the front. I was like, that doesn't look that familiar. And then I looked it up. And then the next day on Twitter, I saw someone drew the same symbol in the sky, and I was like, am I getting brainwashed to go to a cult? But then I read the comments, and it was Prince changed his name to that symbol. It was like the love symbol.
yeah,
or
his cool
that's
logo.
what it was.
Yeah,
And I was like,
I used to think that too. I used to think that was such a weird thing, and then I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Because that's why they called him the artist formerly known as.
Since we all agree,
Prince,
it's hard to debate it, though. It's not as fun. I want somebody to be
Well,
on.
no, look, but Matthew,
a believer.
you can edit it out, but look up Bowen's. Let's argue about. Let's see if Bowen fits his. Look up Bowen's monthly sign, and then see what his traits are. Let's see if they
I'm
fit
a
Bowen.
Aries, I think. The only reason I know is because I get asked.
I want to see that. I
so
think we
many
can get some
times.
good content out of that
Aries.
for sure. For sure. See, Bowen fits.
Bowen's-
Bowen doesn't get. Bowen gets no defense. We just get to decide whether he fits.
I don't want to edit that out because then they won't know why we're looking it
that's
up.
fine.
So we can keep this in. But I think I'm an Aries, Matthew. Look up Aries.
Aries daily.
I think I'm an
horoscope.
Aries too. So
For November
me and Bowen
13th.
are so different too sometimes. So that's ain't even gonna work.
This is an excellent.
What if Matthew starts reading it and he's just like, "Man, I'm starting to believe this." Like he's just like getting sucked in.
I don't
What if
really
it?
understand
What if
it.
it's
Hold
the
on.
biggest cult ever? And all these
Your
people.
personality is defined by passion, excitement, and energy as an Aries born on March 26th. Because you are always looking for new challenges and activities, it doesn't take much to pique your interest. Your friends and family have always admired your ability to devote yourself to whatever task you undertake. Similarly, you are a natural leader because of your enthusiasm and commitment. You'd be shocked at how many fans and admirers you've accumulated. I mean, it's all pretty nice stuff.
Yeah,
right?
it's nice, but I don't
Here's
buy
your
into
daily
none of that.
horoscope.
Fans, first off, let's go and throw that out the window. And then you're admired.
I've got some fans. Shout out.
Listen, the
Team Bowen.
natural
If you
leader.
had fans, they don't listen to this
natural
podcast.
Leader.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I'm taking the lead.
Dude, my hair is ugly.
All that
That's just
did
on
sound
YouTube,
vague.
so
It just
ugly
sounded like
my
someone
hair
was
is.
giving a compliment. Like it sounds like one of those those congratulation cards at Kroger. Like yeah, it just it's a one
And it
size
didn't
fits all.
even. They don't even really match up. It's saying if you could be a leader. It's also saying, like if you to undertake a task, you do it well. That's not really have anything to do with leading. Like it's just different. Like so, the broader
like
it
the
is,
It's
the more
Always
you can
Sunny.
see it, like be yourself in.
It's like It's Always Sunny. He's like, I'm always playing both sides, so that way I win, no matter what.
All right, what's our next?
Bowen's
Psychopath.
psychopathic trait of the week.
Pew, 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 pew. Okay, I think we're all in agreement on this one. If you put up Christmas decorations before Thanksgiving, they're a psychopath. Now listen, I want to clear up my list. I don't want you to feel attacked if something I say is what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for?
If-
It applies
yeah,
to you.
yeah.
If it applies to you. We all are. I'll call myself out. Okay, I call you guys out. We're all in here. It's just
It's
for
the lunch
self-reflecting.
table.
If I say
Don't
something,
sit
you
down.
go, yeah.
Don't sit down if you
You
ain't
don't-
ready. Don't sit down.
Yeah, if you're not ready.
Go to another
If you're
table.
not ready. So I do have to say though, my apartment complex, as I was coming in today, they have Christmas lights set up outside, and I was like, dang, son. And I saw a tweet, and we can debate this part. I don't know if it's true or not. It was really funny. It had a lot of likes and retweets. It said, if you're the type of family that hangs up Christmas decorations before Thanksgiving, you also can't cook or something like that. Was the debate, and I was like, they were like, don't fight me on this, but it's facts or something like that.
I don't think it's
I'm-
true. I don't think it's literally. I don't even think those two traits even align with each other because some people just like to decorate, or like some people even like me. The big reason why like McKenna's like go ahead and decorate is because I'll just like getting things over with. Like I'm just like, oh, that's so much work. I'm like, I'd rather just get that done, then I can relax.
Okay, then why did you say it was crazy to get the Christmas gifts early? You're like, why? Somebody thought that was crazy.
No, yeah, Matthew said
I
it's crazy.
said-
I don't mind. I actually don't mind getting Christmas gifts early because the earlier you get them, the better deals you're gonna
Yeah,
find.
yeah.
The less stressful it is rushing trying to find things. I like to get good gifts too, so I don't want to like just last second buy. So, but anyway, McKenna's family is 100% putting things up early, and we put them up early. I consider myself.
But like 2 weeks ago,
Listen,
you had the
but
Christmas
I'm
tree
saying
up.
back to Matthew Bowen's point on the tweet is that I don't consider myself a great cook by any means. I'm sure Matthew's better than me, but I don't consider myself bad either. Like I can cook most things, and
Yeah,
and
but
McKenna's
it
mom,
wasn't your idea.
McKenna's
That
mom is a
statement-
cafeteria manager, and so
That statement applies to every single thing, not just cooking. When you said, I'm sure Matthew's better than me. Just
I've
FYI.
seen you cook, and you cook okay, but you're also in your underwear when you're cooking, which is kind of nasty.
I get why people do it. They're
That's
excited for,
me,
Christmas.
you know, cooking for
But when
me.
you have 2 months of Christmas, it doesn't make Christmas as special.
I know.
What do
I
you?
know.
You're not
Dude, listen,
doing like
you're preaching.
setting this stuff up. Your birthday is so special because you get it once a year.
No.
What?
All my running backs but one are out this
No,
week. I gotta
listen,
pick
Bowen, you're
somebody up.
100% right. I can't even express that enough. Especially, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that's going to get everybody a little comical joke is that McKenna went out and bought Thanksgiving Day decorations. So I'm over here thinking, oh, well, let's put these bad boys up. And so we have a bin full of Thanksgiving stuff that doesn't get used because McKenna won't let it get used. She bought it.
What?
But she bought it, though. So you can't tell me. You're telling me, Bowen, that
What's the reason? Give me the reason.
there's no
What
reason.
did she
She's
say?
just like, well, Christmas and Thanksgiving don't really go together, and so like I got red and green, and then I got the fall colors.
Yeah, they don't, and that's why they go in
They
order.
go in
One comes
in
first,
order,
and the
correct.
other.
So, but here's the thing also is that Thanksgiving, we all have a Thanksgiving break. You get your 2 days. I get my 2 days. So after Thanksgiving, if it wasn't that way, my family used to, you'd put it all up that exact day after Thanksgiving. I'm still trying to rest, my homie. I'm still trying to sleep after that Thanksgiving food. So it works out. I don't agree with it, but it's one of those things I'm just going to do. I'm just going to move on. I like Christmas, so I'm fine with it getting 2 months. We might as well just move. But here's the thing that bothers me. Oh, snap. You just got me triggered. Because I go in October like 2nd to like dollar stores, Walmart to get some Halloween decorations. This is my boy. They don't even I threw something at the wall. I don't know if y'all saw that. They don't even have Halloween decorations up in October. They got Christmas decorations up.
Where?
Walmart, Hobby Lobby.
Oh,
and I'm thinking, this is all I wanted. This is my time because McKenna knows. We had our argument. We said, you want Christmas? That's her favorite time of year. You want Christmas to have 2 months? Fine. I was like, Halloween starts September 15th. So 2 weeks before October, that's when I start watching Halloween movies. That's when I start putting up decorations. That's the way it was. I was like, listen, if y'all want to start cutting, if y'all want to start free Roman holidays out here, just willy-nilly and everything, Valentine's Day is 4 weeks now. I don't know if y'all knew that. All this crap. So I'm like, okay, you want to play this game? We're going to play this game. So what I think should happen is we need to just move the whole schedule around. Of course, we can't move Christmas. That's Jesus' birthday. But Thanksgiving, that's Pilgrims. I mean, let's cut that out. Let's move it into a place where there isn't really any holidays.
No, I will say, here's the thing, though. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think Thanksgiving is a very much like dude's holiday, though. Like we get to stuff our face and watch football all day.
It's a beautiful holiday.
Now that I think about it more, it is. Yeah,
and
it's a beautiful holiday.
And the girls are stepping in. The girls are stepping
in,
and they're saying, "Dude's holiday? Nah, no."
Christmas
decorations. You're going to be out. Look, we're over here trying to listen to this. Tell me if you don't vibe with this, Matthew. We're over here trying to sit, watch some football, and they're over here saying Black Friday's on a Thursday now, and that we have to go Black Friday shopping when we're trying to eat some good food and watch some. That's what I'm saying. It's
okay. So listen, I have similar. It's about shopping. Here we go.
Let's go fight somebody.
I saw that it's on TikTok. It was on TikTok, and it was this. This lady was like, "Have you seen those TikToks where it's like, shh, they don't know I know this trick?" And so it was this woman. She asked her boyfriend. She's like, "Hey, can I go to the store and buy these decorations?" And he's like, "No, it's not in the budget." She's like, "He doesn't know I know this trick." And then she goes, "I already bought them." Oh, that happens every time. Amber, I'll walk downstairs. We have like 50 pillows on our couch, and I'll walk down and there's orange and brown and gray and like pillows. And I was like, "Why do we get more pillows?" She's like, "They're Thanksgiving colored." And I was like, "We don't need more pillows."
McKenna likes to do the exact same thing, but then when I'm like, "Why'd you do that?" And then I'm like, I want to get mad at her, and then she's just like, "I just have a problem."
Amber does the same thing. I'm like, Amber, stop spending money. And she's like, "It just makes me feel better." I'm like, "You think I don't want to spend money either?"
I mean, look at this Jim. Look at this Jeep Gladiator, this Cybertruck that I'm not even driving. Okay.
Yeah, now that I think about it, why do they add all that stuff to ruin Thanksgiving?
Why are we even married? I'm just kidding.
Is she in there? Is she in there?
The big thing, New Year's Day, they try to have an Eve. Sometimes these Eve bothers me too. Like New Year's Eve, you don't need a New Year's Eve. You have a New Year's Day. Move on. It's a new year.
Yeah, but but it happens on the eve, kind of.
No, I'm all for more holidays.
I'm all for it.
I wish half the year was holidays.
We should just come up with more creative holidays. Like, okay, Star Wars Day. That's a creative holiday. I'm down to celebrate that.
Let's come up with our own Tales of the Table holiday. Lunch
but
table
then you
day.
also have other
maybe a Josh
get
day,
together
Josh
with everyone.
Day.
But then you have other things that are just trying to make days like what was one of these days that I just heard like They called it
Fried bologna
or
day.
your
It's
girlfriend's
crazy.
day, or your
I thought you were gonna say
your
Friday.
eat ice cream day. Now they're just trying to have holidays. They're just marketing now. we're just
Yeah.
experiencing marketing now.
It's Target day.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm all for more holidays, but we gotta be more creative with the holidays. And then there's some holidays that can get on the chopping block. Okay, there's some of those that can get on the chopping block, but I don't know any at the exact moment, but there are.
Yeah. They should just leave people alone, guys, especially Thursday, the entire Thursday for Thanksgiving, and then at least halfway through Friday. And then you can start to get us doing stuff. But hanging up trees, going shopping. I mean, I can think of a million things I'd rather do.
I mean,
right
I
after
looked
a
down.
full
I got
meal.
a thing in the mail, some spam in the mail saying that Walmart was starting Black Friday deals, like Black Friday deals for days is what they called them. And they was like, we're starting like, what is it, November like 5th. And I'm like, so every day's Friday now. Every day's Friday. I was like, what happened to Black Friday being on Friday? Now, what happened to that? What, like all of it. It's a little insane. It's a little insane.
Yeah.
It's all fake. All the days are fake. What makes Monday a Monday? Nothing.
What
Fake.
makes breakfast time?
Makes Friday a Friday.
We're ready to rant, boys. Okay, I go to eat a steak or something in the morning, and McKenna's like, "Why are you trying to do that? Why are you trying to do that? You can't eat that. It's breakfast. That's not breakfast food. What's a breakfast food? It's a
Steak
made
and
up,
eggs is
but
like a
it's
common
made up.
breakfast.
It's made up. There's no logic. The only reason we even have breakfast food is because people wanted to sell eggs and bacon and all this stuff in the morning so that they could get their money.
Cereal.
It was
all
all
big
that
breakfast.
Stuff. It's
Big
a made up
breakfast.
thing. There's no scientific study that proves that these foods are better for your body at this time.
Can't have cold pizza at 9 a.m. with some hot sauce.
Exactly. Okay. Now I'm gonna eat a bowl of cereal at night. That's just what I'm gonna do. If for dinner time, if I want a bowl of cereal, I'm gonna eat a bowl of cereal. Ain't gonna do nothing to me. If I want a steak and potatoes and an IPA in the morning, that's what I'm gonna do.
There's your sign.
Speaking of things that make you frustrated for no reason, Boone, did you have a brand new?
Well, you guys didn't even get a chance to think about it, but hopefully you come up with something on the topic. But
I got one.
So me and Matthew couldn't decide what it was called, but it's like those little irritable things. Irritable, that's better. That's so much better. Little irritable things that should be really small, like shouldn't even bother you, but they just bother you for no. And mine right now, I have a little chat part. You can't even see it. Can't even see it. It's so small. But right now, every time my lips close, every time I'm talking, every time I'm even breathing, I'm like, this is killing me. This is bothering me. This is something that needs to change. So that's one of those things. I got a bunch of them. Another one is I'm a nose breather. I'm a nose breather, and McKenna knows it. So if I can't, like, I don't breathe out of my mouth often. I just like.
I was
You
like,
are,
you're supposed
but
to
I'm
breathe
saying,
out of
like,
your nose, Boone.
They call nose breathers or mouth breathers because the way you hold yourself. And so if my nose is stopped up,
A mouth breather is a derogatory
I know
term.
that's what I'm saying. But if my nose is stopped up, I'm done. I'm done. I can't. I won't. I don't want to do nothing. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. I'm moody. It's like when I used to wake up in high school. I'm like that. So when my nose is stopped up, there's nothing else I can do. I will pick at it for hours until it's fixed.
Yeah.
I
Especially
got
going
one.
to sleep.
So you can probably see it right now. I have this little spot right here, and it's like every once in a while, it's like a pimple that won't go away. But it's not like it doesn't hurt or anything. But I can see it in the bottom of my vision, and if I notice it, then I can't stop picking at it to try to get it to go away. One of those things.
Like a
I had another
scab,
one, but
like
I
someone
can't
who
really
just
think
keeps
about
picking
it.
at scabs. I'm one of those people sometimes.
I don't. It's not a scab. It's just like I'm like trying to push it down so I don't see it in my vision because it's annoying.
Oh, yeah.
What made me think?
I do have one. You said it, Boone. The tag thing. I'm at the point in my life now where if I'm in public or I don't care where I'm at, if a tag starts to bother me, and it really is true though, I'll just rip it off. I rip it off like I just grab it, put my finger in the thing, and just go like that. I don't care who's looking at me or who's around. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. I don't have to deal with this. This is coming off.
I'm a grown man. I don't have to deal with this.
Yeah.
The people that know it are the people that make shirts that the tag is just printed on the shirt in the back. Like, that's the people who know what they're doing. The people who are still putting tags on shirts. I mean, that's a psychopathic trait right there. One that did bother me
like then you have to worry about, is my tag out?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yep. Especially, there's some people. I had this shirt, this polo shirt, like actual polo brand. Tag was that long. That long. I don't know if the size comparison. That long. I'm not even joking. And so it was just flapping, hanging out. And I was like, this is a joke. It's almost that they put them there just to troll people.
I have this pair of shorts with the drawstrings on the back, and I put them on backwards every single time. And then I put them on frontwards, and everyone's like, your pants are on backwards. I was like, no, the pockets are in the front. They're supposed to be here. The drawstring's on the back. And then she starts going, you have a tail.
You have a drawstring in the
manufacturing
Okay, Matthew, you
error
need
in
to
your shorts.
file a
Yes.
lawsuit against that company for you're basically having a little bow on your bum, and you're like, no, sir. It's like you're asking someone else, will you help me? Will you help me tie so I can be
Yeah, because I've never been able to. When we worked at Penn Station, I was never an apron tie behind the back guy. I would go around the back and then tie in the front. I never learned how to do the back. That would just be frustrating.
I did the front because Boone always untied mine. One of you both always
Oh, yeah.
untied
One
mine.
thing maybe that got
In
this
the
whole
back.
conversation started wasn't even my chapped lips. It was while I was teaching. We were outside at at recess, and I had a bug fly right in my eye. Like it went in, it was under my eyelid, and I was like freaking out. Like it didn't hurt. It was just so irritable. My eye was going bloodshot red right in front of like all the students, and I was like, no, and I was like bothering. It wouldn't go away, and then I thought to myself, what happens to this fly? What happens to this fly? I was like, I can't get it out.
Like, where does it
I was
go
like, I know
in
it
your
gets
body?
dissolved, but like, is it going to bother me? And so I had to go. I went on the old Google and went to some forums where people talk about these things, and they were just like, well, your eye will just kind of consume it. And I was like, where does it go? Is it going number 2? Is it going to come out number 2, or is it what's my body going to do with this fly that is now part of me? So,
That's gross. I don't like that.
It's been consumed.
That's gross.
You're going to start growing you're going to have like fly eyes, like how flies have a
Have
bunch
you
of
ever heard
different
those
eyes.
stories of people who were shot and they like lived, and then like 20 years later, the bullet will like come out of their
Oh yeah,
skin
I
and
have a
just
piece of
grew.
glass in my
Ugh,
leg
that
still
grosses me
from
out.
when I fell in a glass pit, like a bonfire pit when I was a kid. I have it. I can feel it still, like a little piece of chunk of glass.
Ugh.
It's
Probably
probably
not
not,
good.
but it's still there. It's not like a sharp piece. Like I can push on it. It doesn't hurt. I'm pretty sure my body's just made it part of its own now. Just like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
those
me-
tire
like my
swings, like
finger.
on the tree. The tree just kind of grows around it, and now you're part of the tree now.
You got any weird things in your body, Bowen?
I mean, my finger's broken.
I think
yeah,
about
I
that
Can't bend it.
sometimes.
I'm starting. You won't be able to see it on the screen, but I'm starting to lose the crease in your finger. If you see the creases in the top, the one where I can't bend the tip.
Something I noticed. So with this hand, I can go like this and not move my finger. But if I move my thumb on this hand, my index finger goes down. Especially if I go like that.
Matthew, you're
Doing
dying.
that on purpose.
It's weird. No, I'm not.
The thing about Matthew is he'll get so anxious if we just talk about it too much. Like, Matthew, that's serious. And Matthew will get super concerned. Oh man, a finger.
No, it is. I am both my uncle and my great uncle and my dad have this disease called Viking's hand disease, and it makes John Elway has a commercial about it, and it makes your fingers contract like this and they solidify. Hopefully, I don't get that.
Do you ever think about
Viking's
how our
hand
muscles actually work?
disease.
Sometimes I'll just stare at my forearm and I'm like, these muscles are making this happen. I'm like,
And I'm
like
moving
exactly.
it with my
I'll
mind.
just sit there and I'm like, but how? I was like, cars need gasoline to move. I was like, things need electricity to actually function. I'm like, this dude.
Food.
That's why you eat food.
That's where we
I
get.
know,
our
but that's
energy from.
sometimes it's just like one of those. Matthew said, when he thinks too much about eternity, it bothers him. If I think too much about why my muscles do that, it'll start messing with my brain a little bit. I'm like, no way. And then I'll think, what if one day I just forget how to move it? Like people get scared, forget how to breathe.
Yeah. What's that thing?
Do you ever
Yeah.
sleep on your arm for too long and then you can't move it and then you're like,
Yeah,
am I
I've done that
paralyzed?
before.
I hate that feeling. I wake up constantly. Both.
Or when you sit, it happens to
No.
me. Happened today when you sit on the toilet too long and you have to stand up. I mean, that's
Your legs. For some reason, in college, I would sleep on my chest, and I'd wake up and my arms would be underneath me to sleep. I don't do that anymore, but that was a common occurrence in college. What happened?
I slept
What changed?
like this one time, completely parallel, laying down flat, and I woke up and my neck was stuck that way. And I looked my dad was telling me that it's just a thing that your neck will do. It's basically like a pop, your neck pops, it can pop into that place, and it's it can feel like you're about to kill yourself if you're gonna try to turn it. I'm like, it was like this all day, for an entire day. I just had to walk around like this, and finally it'll start working its way back.
I don't feel like that should be happening at such a young age. Though. That's an old
I don't-
person.
I'm
think
old.
that's
okay.
real.
It's just a way
No,
it is.
but it's an old person.
Hey man,
You hear
listen.
him wake up and
My
they're like,
horoscope
"Keep
told
moving
me
their
you're gonna be old by the age of 25. That's what it said. You're gonna be old. You're gonna be considered old.
You're almost there. Quarter
What does
aged.
it mean by that, though?
I don't know. I just made that up. I was just saying. All right. Do we have any more topics today?
All right, we got anything else? We're at 40 minutes. Please catch us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at TLTI Pod. Catch us on Twitch at TLTI Gaming and TikTok whenever Bowen posts his world famous song that he made on TikTok. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye. Matthew doesn't love you this time.
I love you. Specifically you, whoever heard that.
Y'all